Hi and welcome to EdZone Digital Media. On today's video we're going to do a test with two different video cameras. I will be mounting the small one to the top of the larger one so we can be shooting both of them at once. The large one is a Nikon Z50 mirrorless camera with a 16-50 kit lens. And the second camera is the DJI Osmo Action camera. It's the first version. The little action camera is mounted over the top of the Nikon Z50 so they can both be shot at the same time, seeing the same view. The reason for this test is the image quality from the action camera versus the Nikon Z50, and to see if the Z50's VR stabilization and optical image stabilization is as good as the action camera's Rocksteady Stabilization. Both cameras are set to 4K and 30 frames a second. The color is a little bit different between the two because the color settings in each camera is different. The test shooting will start all handheld, and then we'll also put it on a tripod to see what we end up with that. For this test, it's an overcast day with some sun coming in and out. But we're down by a boat launch area walking around for this. One of the reasons I'm doing this video is I'm planning on shooting a lot of videos coming up with a lot of walking around, and I need good image quality and a good stabilization to walk around, and I really don't want all the extra weight of carrying a gimbal, so I wanted to see if the Z50 can be walked around with without a gimbal versus the little DJI camera. So I wanted to see, can the Z50 with its image stabilization work for this without using a gimbal? And how the video quality from the Z50 compares to the little DJI Action camera. It would be a lot more easier to just use the small action camera for a lot of things due to its smaller size, and I could also just fit it in a pocket easy. Plus it has so many different ways to mount it. I'm using the older DJI Action camera. They have a newer version 3 out I might pick up, and everything on it is much better, including now 10-bit video, and even better image stabilization and horizontal stabilization. So looking at the video, what I'm seeing is kind of a letdown, as the Nikon Z50 stabilization is not very good at all for video. The little action camera is much more smoother and much less jerky. That is sad. I was really hoping that I wouldn't have to be able to use a gimbal if I'm using the Z50. Looking at the video quality, the Nikon Z50 is the clear winner, as it should be. The newer version 3 of the action camera is better and shoots with the 10-bit video now, so it might be as good or very close to the Z50 for this kind of shooting walking around. We'll have to see. I guess I will have to order the version 3 of the action camera and do some more testing against the Z50 so I can see this for myself. I still could use the Z50 on a tripod when we use one, but I would need to match up the video colors from the two cameras so they look good. I will most likely pick up the Nikon 10-20 lens and use that on the Z50 with the FTZ adapter, and that'll give me a view of 15 to 30 range in that lens on the Z50 body. Now right here you can see I'm running, and the Nikon Z50 is just really shaking all over the place, not doing too well at all. Where the action camera is not bad at all as far as smoothness. Now we're shooting back over the water again. The action camera, once again, is nice and smooth. The Nikon Z50 is very jerky. This is with both the VR and the optical image stabilization on the Nikon. The Nikon video looks pretty good. The action camera, it's a little bit on the softer side, that's for sure. But maybe that new version 3, if I could get a good one. I see a lot of people are saying they get that have bought the version 3. That's my little puppy right there. That's our new dog. He's a soft-coated Wheaten Terrier. Took him out for a little run today for this video test. But anyways, the Action camera version 3 from DJI, a lot of people have had problems with it, getting it to where the fixed lens is actually not in focus. A lot of people have sent them back, so I guess maybe I'll take a risk and try that, and if it just isn't very good, I'll send it back as well. Here I'm doing a little bit of a focus test to see how well the Nikon Z50 can focus. It actually did better than I was expecting. Zooming into something real quick, or moving the camera to something real quick, close versus distance. Not doing too bad there, except all the jerky movements. It's weird, the little Action camera in some scenes is much brighter than the Nikon, and then in other scenes it just doesn't open up as well, and it's quite a bit darker. Like here it's a lot brighter, but the overall exposure going from different scenes, the Nikon Z50 is definitely much better. It handles the different exposures going from little lighter areas to darker areas much better. And I also like the color from the Nikon Z50 better. I just wish that it had much better stabilization. It's a shame they didn't put the in-body stabilization in it. Now here I'm going to do a little test zooming in with the lens. That's another advantage of the Nikon Z50 with any kind of a lens that you can zoom in. And you can see the focus works pretty good there. It locks in the focus pretty quick. Try it again here. Locks in focus. Now here the little Action camera went really dark. Got very contrasty and dark. Lost all its shadow detail. Okay, now for this I have the camera, which is both of them, on a tripod. And I have all the VR and the image stabilization and the Rocksteady turned off on both cameras. So this is just a smooth panning on a tripod to see if that made much of a difference. I could use the Nikon Z50 for sure on a tripod. I'd probably go a little bit slower if I was actually shooting something I was going to use other than this test. And here's the Z50 again, showing zooming in and zooming out to seeing how fast it can focus. It does it very fast, very accurately. I'm pretty happy with that. Hopefully that would work good with some zoom lenses on it too. I'll have to try that. I've used my Z50 a lot with the kit lens, basically just on a tripod shooting things that I've done videos for that I've posted on YouTube and other places. And it's worked great, but I've never used it much walking around. See that panning from side to side with the 4K looked not so great. Here, zoom into the post, gets in focus, come back out, zoom in, gets in focus, not bad. So here I could like slowly pan over and zoom in at the same time. Going from right to left though, it does look kind of jerky, at least on my screen here. And there's my little doggy again. We've almost had him a month. Now this is kind of weird here. The Nikon just could not focus on the dog or the grass whatsoever here. I'm not quite sure what happened. It's like the focus just turned off. Doesn't seem like that would be hard to focus on the dog or the grass, but it's not focusing on either. And I can come back around here and then it does focus in. See, it goes there and then it's going to focus there. And now here is the DJI Action camera, just locked on the tripod to show what it looks like with no movement. And then I'm going to switch to do the same thing with the Nikon Z50. So this was the test. I hope this was helpful so you can see the difference in the two cameras shooting video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I will have a lot more videos coming on the way.